I'm either acting in my, by the way, this is good for everybody. This is good for 65, 66. What we're discussing here, big picture, is what's called capacity. So I say, Cameron, at Goldman Sachs, we are a broker dealer. And in some transactions you do with us, we're going to be acting our broker agency capacity. And on your behalf, we're going to get the security elsewhere, and you're going to owe us a commission. In other transactions you do with us, Cameron at Goldman Sachs, we're going to be acting our dealer principal capacity. We're going to be charging you a markup or a markdown. Now, in each and every transaction you do, we're going to disclose in what capacity we acted. Now, please note, Cameron, as a securities professional, there are four securities professionals: broker dealers, agents of broker dealers, investment advisors, and investment advisor reps. And Cameron, I want to make clear to you that at Goldman Sachs, we are not your fiduciary. We represent ourselves. We'll represent you as an agent, but that's a different kind of a relationship than a fiduciary relationship with an investment advisor. So let's say that I'm not a market maker in the security, Adam. Here's the bid, and here's the ask. And one of the things that we have is what's called the 5% policy. It's not a rule, it's a policy. Policies are different than rules. Policies are for the guidance of wise men and women. That's a policy. A rule is for the blind obedience of fools. All right, this is a policy. What this amounts to is we have to have a normal pattern to our charges. If we depart from that normal pattern, we have to give you some reason. And I'm going to be hard pressed. One good reason to charge you a higher markup is risk, right? Maybe you come into Cameron, you're doing well, you make a lot of money, and you come in, I'm a Lamborghini dealer. And you say, Dean, how many cars you sell? I said, not many. But when I do, the markup is huge, right? If I'm a Hyundai dealer, hey, my spreads are smaller, but I make it up in volume, right? If you want to trade in a Lamborghini, so you come trade in one, you go, Dean, I see one in your showroom. It's exactly like mine. Aren't you embarrassed about the difference between what you're offering me for my Lamborghini and the one that looks like mine and you're selling it for? I said, well, no, Cameron, you know how long that Lamborghini's been in my showroom? It's been there quite a while. So, now I'm going to have two of them. I might be able to sit on them for even longer, right? So, listen, hey, if you don't like my quote, go find somebody else to buy your Lamborghini. Isn't it nice to know I'm here providing liquidity and high performance sports cars? Okay, so I say, Adam, the bid is 15 and the ask is 16. I'm not a market maker in the security. So what I like to do is get it off the box and charge you a penny. So I'm going to get it off the box at 1601. I'm acting in my principal capacity. You didn't buy that security from the market maker, you bought it from me. And I'm charging a penny. That's a riskless principal transaction. Now, again, I'd be hard pressed to be charging you a lot for that because I didn't have any risk in the security, right? I didn't have inventory. Now, and you say, well, gee, Steve, why would we do it that way? I said, well, maybe my minimum commission is, $200 and a penny a share makes it more like $10 or something. So that's a riskless principal trade is where I get it from a market maker, but rather than charging you the commission, I charge you the markup. And then the second thing about riskless principal is to know that I'm going to be hard pressed to be charging a lot of money for that. We were using the analogy of the basketball game, right? I used to sit on the baseline. And so I knew all the season ticket holders on the baseline. So I had a little bit of an idea of who has what tickets. And one of my favorite transactions is when I would have no risk in the ticket. The guy would say, hey, Dean, can you get rid of my Warrior ticket for me? I go, not a problem. And I wouldn't even pay him for it. I would get the other guy, bring it to that guy, get the money, pay the other guy. I, got no risk. That's a little different than, by the way, if I buy the ticket myself, right? And then I'm taking the chance. I saw somebody was complaining. I forget what it was. They were complaining about they paid big bucks for a Laker ticket because they thought it was going to be the last game that LeBron's ever going to pay. And I go, what an idiot. I'm kind of thinking, what, you want to renegotiate after you agreed to terms? And, that's on you. I wouldn't give him his money either. So, all right, let's see what else we got going on. So now, by the way, I don't think if you join me for 24 someday, Adam, we might get into this idea that your markup is based on the lowest asking price. right? So I didn't get into the inside market in this discussion. And your markdown would be based on the highest bid. So the net would be, what did I really charge here? And for example, if the inside, the lowest asking price was 15.98 and I did this, my markup isn't a penny. My markup would be 3 cents in that example, right? So the net would be, based on that markup. All right, let's see. Series 7 on Friday. Okay, that takes care of our friend Adam. He's going Friday. You can't come off mute. That's okay. You're getting your 10. Oh my, you have your 7. Series 10, Lex, is such a slog. Oh my goodness. I'm with you in spirit. So I don't know what I could be helpful with in this Q&A jam session. And I don't know who your test prep vendor is, but feel free to send me an email with a screenshot of any questions you're struggling with. When are you taking your 10, Alex? Are you taking it hopefully not like Friday or something?
No, not Friday. I don't have it scheduled yet. So my firm gave me till the end of the year for the 9 and 10. I finished the 10 book. I got a 70 and 76 on two simulated exams. Um, so right now I'm at the point where I don't know if I should buy another test
Who's your,
provider just to be
who's
super
your test,
prepared.
who's your test prep vendor?
Kaplan.
Yeah, I may have answered, maybe I don't know if it was you, Lex, but I answered this earlier in social media. I do believe in having more than one vendor
Okay.
for principal exams. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I like that is to get some confirmation of phraseology, whether somebody's just on a tangent. Now, I can tell you Kaplan's sufficient. Uh,
Okay.
this is being recorded, these jam sessions. I probably shouldn't say this, but Lex, I am always surprised about how many whiners on nines, tens, and 24s. They whine more than people taking sevens and 65s and 66. Lex, no accountability. They always blame their test prep vendor. So whether it's training consultants or STC or Past Perfect or Knopman Marks or Kaplan, oh, it wasn't me. It was my test prep vendor. I'm like, you would
Yeah.
that from a baby broker. If a baby broker came in and said, "Hey, it's not on me, it's on Past Perfect, it's on," so. But I think, Lex, when you have hopefully as a Series 10, 9, 24, you do have additional resources perhaps that baby brokers don't.
Yes.
That's another reason I suggest get supplementing with that. So I like STC with Kaplan, and I would say
Okay.
it's no different. If you showed up in this live stream and you told me, or in this Q&A jam session, you told me you had STC and asked that same question, I would have the exact same answer, and I would tell you get Kaplan. Now I do have a Series 10 playlist. I don't know if you've checked that out on my YouTube channel, but
I
I do.
have.
Okay, I got a practice test there. I do where you can hit pause and think what your answer is and hit play and you can watch me do that. So but I'm with you in spirit. Make sure I put these up like every week. You have my permission, Lex, as a principal. I usually have free office for paid people, and but you're welcome to join us on that, even though I don't think I've tutored you in the past. You're welcome to join us for that, so bring any
You did
questions.
tutor me for my 7, but that was
There we
6 years
go.
ago.
Okay, well then you qualify.
It
You
was 6 years
qualify
ago at this point.
free office hours for paid students. So just bring that to me. Best practice, couple things here. So best practice, get your date. That's for everybody. You should have a date.
I
Be-
can't until I get a 72 on the practice exam. So I'm gonna take that on Friday, see what I get, and then I have to email my provider, or not my provider, my compliance department, then they allow you to schedule it.
I call the compliance department the sales prevention department. I think
Yeah.
the easiest way to stay out of trouble is not to sell anything.
Yeah.
Compliance officers, don't be offended. It's a joke. That being said, good accountability partner though, right? So that's good that you got somebody who's helping you kind of pace yourself on that. So as you guys are taking your sevens and 65s and 66, you're never not going to have a higher power in your life. Even Lex, when she gets her 10, did you do your 9 yet, Lex?
No, I'm doing the 10 first.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. Is that Paul My Caller video, I hope? I hope that's mine. I mean, that'd be
Yes.
bad. Okay. I'd be bad for putting up somebody else's stuff in my.
I found some hacks video now.
There you go. There you go. So I kind of like that. Like I say, I make videos that I think people will like, and then they don't, and then I make one I don't think anybody's going to like, and they love it. I'm like, I've given up trying to figure out what videos are going to speak to people. I have one. I changed it. It's all the bullish transactions, and it goes through all the bullish and goes all the way. And I had this beautiful bull and a bear and nobody would click on it. So then I just changed it to, boring bullish transactions, So, all right, what else we got going on here? So Paul, thank you so much. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Anybody got anything else I want to talk about?